Hi, Diane. Hi, everybody. This is Shirley from Shirley's World Vlog. I'm here every Sunday at 4 o'clock for what sold the past week. I had some things happen as far as the printer again. So during the 2 days or 2.5 days that I didn't have a printer till I figured it out, I didn't list. And in the middle of the week is when my listings or when my sales went down. So I guess that matters. It shouldn't matter that much. I mean, I have a huge inventory. Well, huge for me. Let me move my chair up here. Okay. Yeah, so I didn't have as good a week as I had last week. Not that that was spectacular, but it was better than it's been. So I'm thinking that's probably the reason is I wasn't listing for 2 or 3 days out of the week, in the middle of the week. So I sold, what did I sell? I think I sold 9 things on eBay and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things on Poshmark. So it's not that different, but I'll share my screen in a bit. I found a new YouTuber that I've been watching all week. It's called White Cottage Company or White Cottage Co. And it's just the way that she decorates and her gardens and everything. It's how I would love my old farmhouse to look. She has she decorates in that old farmhouse type of decor. And everything in her house is like white and black. She does a lot of it's not called stenciling. What did she call it? You buy them and then you put them on and peel the paper off. What are those called? There's a name for them. But yeah, she goes through a company and does a lot of that. So you should look her up, White Cottage Co. on YouTube. She has all kinds of YouTubes. It's mostly decorating her house, gardening, and what got me looking at it was she was changing the decor on her porches. She has several porches, and they're so cute. Yeah, really just so nice looking. And so many ideas about all the plants and things she puts in pots on the garden, on the porches and everything. Gave me a lot of ideas. I don't know how much land they have, but the interesting thing is she did mention in the first couple I watched that she had grown up Amish. Her parents are Amish. Their last name is Yoder. She lives here in Ohio. She lives down in Walnut Creek, which is in that whole Amish area down that we used to go to all the time. Walnut Creek, Charm. There's several different ones down there. And yeah, so she hasn't told the story of why she left the Amish. Now, her husband must have been Amish too, because when of course, they don't speak it on the YouTube channel, but if you watch them like at dinner time or talking to each other, they speak Pennsylvania Dutch. So they're old Amish. They're not Mennonite, they're not new Amish. They're the older Amish. So I don't know why they left the Amish. She has never, not that I watched anyway. I don't know why. So interesting. She does not wear pants, any kind of trousers at all. She wears skirts or dresses. In the winter, she wears a skirt, but she wears tights under it, but no pants. I don't think the Amish are supposed to wear, the women ever wear pants, you know. It's just interesting, and I just love the way her house looks and her porches and her gardens. It's amazing. She's made me all inspired to. I have two little porches that I could do something with. This is if I ever get my garden in. If it ever gets warm, it's been in the 50s again. And one day that we did have sunshine, besides today isn't bad. I've been outside a little bit today, but up until today, if it wasn't raining, it was windy. And 50 something in the wind is cold to me. So I don't do that. I don't go out. I want a garden in the warm weather. So I did plant the two herbs I got, which was, well, I got three. I didn't plant the basil because I'm going to wait and plant that with my tomato plants. But I planted the dill and the parsley. Well, today when I was out, I noticed the parsley was pulled right out of the ground and laying over, and the dill is missing altogether. So either the bunny or the deer got it. So I have to rebuy the dill or just plant seeds. You can plant dill pretty easily from seed. But I'll have to put something over it because I read that both bunnies and deer love dill. So either that or I'm going to have to buy some cayenne pepper shakers. I don't have anything hot like that, so I'll have to buy some cayenne pepper and sprinkle it around on the ground. They don't like the smell of rosemary and different herbs either, but that was right next to these things and they still got it. So the parsley, I replanted it, still looked okay, and I put a basket over it. I don't know, you'd think the deer would just take the basket off of it. I'm going to have to I have some hardware cloth, that it's like fencing, but it's tiny little squares. Hardware cloth. I'm going to make little hoops to put into the ground over my vegetables to keep the bunnies and things off of it. So, oh, you watch her too, Riri? Don't you love her? Yeah. Yes, so interesting. They are both, I don't know how maybe her maybe her father was a woodworker. There's a lot of woodworkers down in Amish country. Look at all the furniture that comes out of Amish country. So maybe when she started working and the Amish girls start working, well, boys and girls start working like, I don't know, 12, 14 years old. So they may have worked in, like in a woodworking place. They don't all work in the restaurants. And because both of them, they have a big woodworking shop on their property. But they both build things. She builds as much as he builds furniture. I'm talking about furniture. And she'll get a lot of things at the thrift stores and make things out of them. She always gets old doors and any old glass doors, anything like that. You have to go on and watch. She's amazing. I love this is my new favorite YouTube videos to watch. But yeah, after I get my garden in, I'm going to start working on uh, redoing my porches because she's been an inspiration to me. Uh, yeah. Well, I have sold uh, at least one thing that was only on like one day from Bumblebee's box. Another piece from her from the big box. It sold so fast. I wasn't even sure if I it crossed my mind when I didn't even know I had listed that yet, but I had listed it just like a day before or a couple days before. A piece of a linen top. So you'll see it. It's one of the last things I sold. Yes, I think I sold it yesterday. So I still have no way of making, big sheets to keep my inventory on. It's all just kept on the computer. Uh, every everything is. I'm just keeping all these sticky notes that come off of my uh, bags of things that I sell. And I have a whole bunch of sticky notes here on the desk because I'm afraid to delete something. I'm afraid to delete things from Poshmark because people are getting kicked off of Poshmark for just deleting one or two things. That's not what they say. They say that they don't want you deleting a whole lot of things. But so I go on and I'll delete maybe one thing a day, two if I'm feeling brave. But I have all these things I've sold on eBay, and like this week, 9 things. I have things from last week I didn't delete yet. So I'm just waiting to the first thing I sell on Poshmark that it's not there because I've sold it already. I'm hoping that they're going to fix this. Yes, I had some sort. I think I told you about it on that other video where I said I wasn't going to be on Thursday, the garden video. But I lost power. I must have lost power in the middle of the night. When I came down here, I had to restart my laptop, which is no big thing. But when I went to print something, my printer was not connected. It looked like it was connected, but it didn't say it should be connected on your preferences on your, there's something on Apple you go on and look for scanners, printers and scanners, and it should say idle, just sitting there idle waiting. Instead, it said something about offline or something like that. So I tried to fix it several times. I couldn't get it fixed. So there was one person on YouTube that said, just, if you're having trouble with your printer, just do this. This is the first thing you should do. So I did that. I uninstalled it. From you do that on your preferences. You uninstall it by pushing the negative button. And then you go over to your printer and you unplug it. Or I guess you unplug it first. You unplug it, turn it off, and then uninstall it. Then you wait about at least 30 seconds. and then you plug it back in and reconnect it. And then you go on and you add the Jaden's printer. And like magic, it was back online waiting. It said idle and it was waiting, and it's been fine ever since. So I wrote down, because I don't trust my memory. So I wrote down exactly what I did. So if it happens again, I can just go step by step. And hopefully that will fix it every time. Because I'm assuming that every time this computer goes off, goes black, absolutely off, that you have to restart it. That's going to happen again. So, yes. So for 3 days, I didn't have a printer. 2 of the days, I had to go to the post office again. And yeah, it just makes me a wreck. That sales coming in, you feel like just turning off eBay and Poshmark so that you don't get any sales till you got this figured out. But I didn't. But I didn't list. So I didn't list. I think that slowed them down a little bit. And but now everything's okay for the moment. Yeah. So let me Bumblebee isn't here yet. Let me share my screen and show you what I sold this past week. First, I'll show you the little graph here. It wasn't near as good as last week, as you can see. But I had 1 0 day, and then you see this mark that's sort of just grayed out at the end. That's today. So I've had decent sales today, but lower sales during the week. So let's go see what I sold. I sold a men's Callaway polo shirt. It's a medium short sleeve and it's purple. And let me see if I do have a list of things here. Down here. Okay. This sold for a best offer of $10.10. The total they paid with shipping was $16.99. And I netted $8.30 from this. This was sold on the 25th, which was last Sunday. So the next thing is this Rachel Zoe, or Zoe, I don't know how to pronounce it, this striped button front linen shirt. I put minimalist and lagging look on there. And this sold for $17.68. Now, I don't know why that was different than 18 something, because that's not a sales price. Maybe she just offered a strange offer. But she paid a total to get it to her of $25.35. And I netted $15.39 for this. The next thing is, if you remember, I got these at Goodwill one time just because I thought they were so cute. These are tiny little. They're no more than 1.5 inches tall. They're real little. Mini Owl salt and pepper shakers. They were ceramic, and they just don't hold enough salt and pepper. salt and pepper. They're like individual, you know. So I almost sent them the Silver Owl Thrifter, but she's not on YouTube anymore. These sold for $9. Total they paid was $15.55, and I netted $7.64. The next thing is HQ Scrubs. This is a scrub top, and it has cats all over it. Let's see if I can make this bigger so you can see the cats. It doesn't make it much bigger. But it had these cute cats all over it. Yeah, this sold for $11.99. They paid a total of $18.97 with shipping, and I netted $9.56. The next thing is this pair of celebrity. Let's see, make it bigger. Celebrity. They're not the color pink, the pink by Victoria's Secret pink. 5-pocket black stretch jeans in a junior size 5. So they paid $19.54. There was a 15% off sale. And they paid a total of, with shipping, $30.20. I netted $18.19 for these. Next thing is this braided leather belt. This was mine. I got out of my closet. Yeah, you can buckle it any length. It's when it's braided like that, doesn't have holes. You just stick the thing in between the braids, and you can make it any length, really. It's 1 inch wide. Goes with jeans really well because it was brown, tan, and had some blue in it. And this sold for $11.99. And it sold with shipping. They paid $30.20, and I netted $18.19. Next thing is by Talbots. They're denim shorts. They look like they're, I think they call this bleach dipped, sort of an ombre type idea there. Longer denim shorts, and they sold for $14.44, which I think is an offer I sent out to watchers. And they paid a total of $21.77 with shipping, and I netted $11.33. Nike Golf Tour Performance dry fit shorts. These are size 36, and these sold for $14.75. With shipping, they paid $20.60, and I netted $12.37. Now, this is the item that was just put on. It's by, let's get this bigger. It was by Focus Casual Life. It's an oversized linen tunic because the size is medium, but it's much bigger looking than medium. It's a lag and look top, had this flare hem with the side slits, 3/4 sleeves, and this sold for $20.49 with the 18% off sale. At the end of the week, I put a bigger sale on. So I don't have written here what I netted for that, but yeah, this was right out of the box that I got from Bumblebee. So now for the Poshmark sales. I think I showed this last week, but this was a sale that came in on Sunday, which counts as this week, last Sunday. It's a Nike athletic pants, women's size small, with the white stripe down the leg. These are sort of like the Adidas pants I wear all the time. Uh, Sold for $18. I don't have my numbers written down here. And the next thing is by Knox Rose, a pair of pull-on shorts. These were new with tags. Women's extra large. They have this eye-cat pattern. They were lined, had an elastic waist, just pull-on shorts, and they sold for $16. Here's a pair of Lane Bryant low-rise boyfriend jeans. These were women's size 18. They were flex magic waist, tapered leg, and these sold for $18. I'm pretty sure that was a best offer. And then this BDG Urban Outfitters red plaid flannel shirt. This was a women's shirt, and this sold for $13. Now, this person started off offering me a really low price, like $6 or something. We went back and forth. Finally, I agreed to $13. I really didn't want to, but she was really evidently wanted this shirt. So, and it's flannel. I mean, we're going into summer here, so. And the last thing on Poshmark, Under Armour running shorts, women's running shorts in an extra small. These sold for $14. I've had these a while. You can tell by the white background. Now, the surprise that came in was this sale on Mercari. And it was one of the shorts that I got from Bryland Farm. Champagne men, size 38 golf shorts. I usually don't sell these golf shorts because they're all new for less than $15 or $16. But the reason I took $13 was, number one, I didn't remember how Mercari did their shipping, and I wanted to do it and see if my Jaden's printer would pick it up and do it as easily as I figured out how to do both eBay and Poshmark, and it was very easy. So that's why the $13. This person got a nice pair of golf shorts. So I'm going to show you this is just numbers for eBay. Total sales for the week for those 9 items, $192.94. And I made a net sales of $100.68 because the selling costs were $81.16. Now remember, this next week is when that big amount for my store comes out, and the numbers are always horrible. So next week my net amount will be really much lower. Average sale price, $21.44. I'm sorry, but I didn't run my whole Poshmark thing here. I didn't even write it in my book yet. So let me get back here. And if I can. Where am I? Yikes. Maybe I won't get back here. No, I don't want to end the stream. Not yet. Oh, stop sharing. I just pushed the wrong button, of course. Debbie. Hi, Shirley. Again in our new car, and it won't let me turn the Bluetooth off so I can hear you. Oh, she can hear us. Need to figure it out. If I turn it off, my car turns it back. Oh, dear. Yeah, go back to the dealer and have them fix that. Well, you can't hear what I'm saying. Yeah. I had to go back once and have them do something with that whole, you know, these new cars, they do a lot with the this Bluetooth stuff. Yeah. Uh, well, Debbie probably doesn't read lips either, and I don't know sign language, so uh, she'll have to watch the replay. So that is what I've been doing all week, waiting for the weather to change. Now, the next couple days, it's going to get warmer and it's going to be sunny. So the next 2 days, I will be out in the garden and try to get almost everything done before it turns cold again. This is crazy weather. Uh, this is June already, June 1st. I can't be out when it's cold. It's not fun gardening if you're cold. So, yes. And then my handyman that made my garden all nice and ready for me to do it told me about a garden center, a little garden center that I haven't been to, and it's right on the way. In fact, it's a little past Tractor Supply, even before you get like to Target or Walmart. It's on the other side of the road. I've seen it, and I've often thought I should stop in there, but it's always on the wrong side of the road. I'd have to stop traffic and go across traffic and get over there. And I never think of it on the way back. But I'm going to go there just to go there. It's a privately owned, it's not a big box store like Home Depot, because I was going to go there for more plants. But he says it's lower priced and it's a mom and pop store, so I like that. It looks really cute, looks nice. They have a greenhouse. So I will try to take pictures, video when I go there, and maybe make a little video about it. It'll be a garden week this week. So that is my week on reselling. I'm lucky I sold anything because I didn't, half the week I didn't even list. But I'm back to listing and back to photographing and everything, 3 a day. So luckily I have had drafts, to put on. I just wasn't taking photos and putting new things in my draft. So that's what I've been doing. Let's see if I wrote notes about this White Cottage Co. People, the Yoders. Yeah. See if I told you everything. Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited to sort of use her examples and try to make my porches look really nice. I know it's going to cost me more money to buy more plants. I'm going to have to buy more plants. And she gave me an idea. She goes into their woods. I mean, I think they have a lot of big property. She goes into her woods, and they have some big burning bushes, if you know what that is. They turn bright red in the fall. And they'll send out little plants. They must reseed. I have one burning bush, and I didn't notice it had sent out any other little bushes, but I have to go look because she digs those up and then she plants this little thing that looks like a little tree in a big pot. It looks so cute. So I'm gonna go look for that. And yeah, I did discover that there's a span of about 8 feet or so on my white picket fence, which is vinyl. It's not wood. Uh, Out front. I didn't know what the heck this was. I took a picture of it with this thing, and it said what it was. It's lichen, the kind that grows on the sides of trees and things. This is gray. It looks awful. And yeah, I guess it'll spread. To get it off, you have to you scrape it off, and then you just make a solution of vinegar and water or bleach and water, but it's at my garden. So I would do vinegar and water and spray it on, let it sit for a while, and then power wash or scrub it off. So I have to do that too. So I didn't even know lichen would grow on a vinyl fence. That's kind of strange. I know it grows on bark, like sides of trees and things. So, who knew? Well, my birds, I just went out and filled my bird feeder in the front off my kitchen window, those bird feeders and the suet feeders. I swear they were sitting there waiting. They were upset that there was no suet left in the suet feeder. I have 5 or 6 little downy woodpeckers that come there all the time. And so I went out and I filled the suet feeders and I filled the bird feeder for the second time today. They will just eat until you run out of money. So it's costing me a lot in bird seed this year because I bought all those extra bird feeders. But they'll empty a bird feeder in a matter of hours. So I also have a little wren, a Carolina wren, someplace on this side of the garden out there. It's over here. It's right out this wall. There's a big azalea bush, and then there's a big forsythia bush. In those bushes someplace, the Carolina wren has made a nest because every time I get over this way at all, she's yelling at me. So yes, they chatter. So yes, I love little wrens. They really have a big personality for such a little bird. And they have a beautiful call when they're not scolding you. I did go to the eye doctor this week, and I went mostly because I was so upset that I couldn't use my new prescription because it's just there's something wrong with it. These are my new glasses. I haven't been wearing these. I've been wearing my old glasses because this new lens, I can read better with them. But when you're walking and look down, it's just much different than my old glasses. And when I told her that, she said that the lens companies, they make transitional lenses 2 or 3 different ways. So I'm not imagining this. She says it could very well be that they made it a different way than my old ones. So when I went back, she went back and explained it to the person where you get the eyeglasses from. And she looked at these and she says, "Oh yeah, these are different from your last glasses." She says, "Are you getting a fisheye effect when you look down?" I said, "Yes, that's it." So she sent for new lenses, and she'll just call me when they come in. There won't be a charge, I don't think. She didn't say anything about a charge. There shouldn't be. And I don't have to leave my glasses there. I can just go in and she'll pop these out, pop the other ones in somehow. She also adjusted these glasses so they don't slide down on my nose as much as they were. So I've been wearing these. I've been forcing myself to wearing these and getting used to them, because I do like to be able to read without a magnifying glass. Yeah. The graduation was wonderful. She sent me I had the code on my phone, and all I did was click on the code, and then I had my TV on, and it automatically switched to my television. So I saw the whole graduation on my big screen of my television. So I watched it. I felt like I was there. I watched the whole graduation. Now, my first husband's name was Zeslak, starts with a Z, and they went in alphabetical order. So my kids, my son's name is Zeslak, and my daughter too. And their kids' names are Zeslak, Zezulak, because that was their father's name. So, yeah, had to wait to the very tail end each time to see her. One for the when they walked in, the whole, what do they call that? When they walk down the aisle, it was all in a church. They go to a Catholic church, St. Padua, and in Parma. What is the name of that? Come on. That word is gone at the moment. They walked down, and then they also going up to the stage to get their diploma. You waited to the end too. That was all in alphabetical order. So yeah, it was long. It was like an hour and a half long, because there's almost 200 in their class. Yeah. And she graduated with honors. Of course, she wasn't the valedictorian, but close. Yeah. So that was all good. Unfortunately, my daughter was working. She worked second shift, so she couldn't watch it. I did find out, though, I haven't looked up for a long time. Remember I told you about a man I knew that we rode horses together with? He was 80 years old when he got his first horse. He ended up having 3 horses, and he lost 2 of them to really older age. They were older horses. And then when he left the barn where when we were at, we were always in the same barn. If I moved, they moved. 2 other people moved. So, yeah, we moved twice into different barns, and they followed. I met him in the very first barn we went to when I first got Preacher, and Michelle first got her first Arab, which is satire. And we took lessons there. It's when we first started into horses. And William came, and he got an Arab also. And he was learning to ride. He was 80, and he's learning to ride. And yeah, in fact, William and I bought a horse together. We bought Preacher together at the time. And then he wanted to get another horse, another kind. So I paid him back his half, and he got another horse, and we got satire. So we had two horses. He had two horses. So anyway, what I was going to say is he died, but he was 101. He died last year, right around this time. Well, June 25th of 25. So it's going to be, almost a year. He had started to get dementia, and this is long after he left the barn. He started getting dementia. We went over to visit him many times. He also showed dogs. He had, that's going to leave me too, because I'm trying to remember. It seems to be when Australian Shepherds. He had Australian Shepherds, and he showed, I think, 3 of his Australian Shepherds. And then the last one he got was a very small one. It was like a miniature. It was a miniature Australian Shepherd. And that's the one he took down to Lancaster, Ohio, not Pennsylvania. Ohio. It's down near Columbus. And then his wife died. He went into a nursing home. His horse had died down there. And I don't know what happened to Bella, his dog. I'm assuming she died too, because she was older. But anyway, he has a big write-up on his obituary all about him, because he was a professor at Ohio University, and I think at Edinburgh College, maybe someplace else too. And his wife, Janet, was a nutritionist. That's why he lived so long. She made sure he ate really well. And yeah, what a wonderful man. A real gentleman. What that word really means. And I'm so glad I knew him. So yeah, there's a big write-up in it, and it includes all the stuff about him having horses and his horses, and about his dogs. Even gave him all the names of the dogs. And he only had one living relative. His wife had died. He only had one living relative left. It was a nephew. I don't know why I'm telling you people all this. You have no idea who this person is. But anyway, yeah, I found that out this week too. But 101, that's pretty good. So I'm going to close and go make myself something to eat. I have no idea what. I think I have some lunch meat in there. I may just have a sandwich. I'm not hungry at all. I don't have much of an appetite ever. If I do get hungry, if I just eat a little bit, it fills me up. So yeah, I don't know why I'm not losing weight. So I will see you hopefully in a garden video. If not, I will see you Thursday evening for a live video at 7 on Thursdays. So thank you all for joining me. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.